Hi, boys and girls. Mr. Rush here with another Core Plus lesson for you following the election. Not necessarily the election of 2020, but elections in general. In Core Plus lesson number 6, we looked at the 2016 and the 2020 presidential election projections. And in that, we saw maps like this that would go for Biden and for Trump. And in that lesson, we saw many different scenarios where President Biden, candidate Biden and the actual president, Donald Trump, could win re-election. You toyed around with some of the different maps, one or two different maps, to see how different states could potentially vote for Donald Trump or for Joe Biden. Those states that are super close, you should remember, are called swing states because the political pendulum, can shift Democratic or Republican just like that. It means the vote is close there. In any case, many of you did a great job pointing out those states in those situations that where certain presidents could kind of tilt the majority in their favor and potentially win the election of 2020. This lesson builds on top of that. As we more closely approach November, some of the things that you're probably thinking about are what are some of the election rules? What are some of the traditions or things that commonly happen in an election? What do we call or define voter turnout as? And a whole lot more. So today's lesson is built around using a bunch of web resources that are going to get you to think about term length of the president. Why is it a set number of years? When do elections happen in November? And why is it always on a Tuesday? And then a close look at voter turnout. So you're watching this video, you're doing this first step right now. This next task is going to have you look at what the founding fathers, people like George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, and Alexander Hamilton, what they were trying to do and in setting how long a president would serve. You would use this link here, and you would answer these 4 or 5 questions there in this space. Why are elections in the late fall? You're going to take a close look using this link here, answering these 2 questions. Okay, and this one here, I guess, so it's 3. All right, if you read the first 2 paragraphs, you should have your answer. Timing of the elections. Why are they in a certain month and why are they on a certain day? You'll understand that better as well using the word harvest, weather, church, and farmers. You see, back in the early 1800s, the late 1700s, the number one job in America, like 95% of Americans, were farmers. So that farming had to do a lot with setting the date for elections, which we still hold at the same time today. Most of us are not farmers anymore. So this is an interesting little topic. Criticism of the election day. Obviously, people don't vote for a reason. Some people don't vote because they can't, not because of age or because of citizenship, but because maybe they have to work and there's certain roadblocks in the way stopping them or hindering them from voting. Okay, you'll look at that. 11 states in the United States actually make Election Day a civic holiday, which provide an opportunity for people in those states to go out and vote. And sometimes those people get paid to do that. I think that's awesome because it's helping people practice their civic responsibilities. You'll look at voter turnout. I found this really cool short commercial about NFL and their position on voter turnout. So I want you to watch that and summarize it. And then I want you to find some ways that people or what government can do to get people more involved, okay, in voting. All right, so that's right here. And you'll use the World Wide Web to do it. Boys and girls, that's going to wrap up the lesson. If you feel the need, or you have the opportunity, I should say, most of you in my regular class need to continue to prepare for the national anthem debate. So what that means is you need to make sure you've submitted task 1, remember me. You did that in class, most of you, good job. But task 2 is the anthem uproar, reading this article and getting a stance and a position on what do you believe in what Kaepernick did or are you against it? And answer 6 questions.